Talking about the vibrance of life and living an abundant life. Let me tell you, I will not stop talking about this until we have all crossed over, okay? Until we have all crossed over, until we get dissatisfied with our own lives and seek to live better lives. If you're just joining us, we are talking about how to live a better life. Not just a better life, no, because a better life, so many people have talked about living a better life, but I'm being very specific about this, living life according to God's intention, or how God intended for us to live our lives. If his promises are yes and amen, if he's a God who says, come, let's reason together, if he's a God who says he has good plans for us, okay? And he says that he has come that we will live life, and life in its fullness, and life in abundance. That means we just have to tap into it. We just have to know that that is possible for us, okay? We just have to know that that is possible for us. It is available for us. It's like a child who knows that this is also possible for me. Yesterday, I was looking at my daughter, Ariella, and she was in the fridge. Definitely the fridge is taller and bigger than her. And she was busy... you know how you'll stand on your toes, and she was looking for, I think she was looking for strawberries, because she was like, no, I don't want to have grapes, because the grapes were closer to her, because they were like her height, where she can get the grapes, where she can get the yogurt, where she can get there's some berries. I think they were orange berries. I was calling them yellow berries, and she corrected me and told me, but mommy, they're orange. And I'm like, okay, but what are you looking for exactly? It's like, I want strawberries. So she had to tiptoe to make sure that she gets to the strawberries. Why? Because she knows this is available to me, and so if I want it, I know what I want. And anyone would have settled and said that, oh, you know what? There's some pineapples here. There's some grapes here. But I want something specific. That means she even knows the taste that she's looking for. That the taste I'm looking for is not for grapes, is not for berries, is not... No, the taste that I am looking for is for strawberries. And so I am going to stand on my toes, and I'm going to hold on to the fridge door, and I'm going to... She was close to the kitchen counter, and her one arm was on the kitchen counter, but doing everything in her power to make sure that she reaches the strawberries. And guess what? I put the strawberries up for a reason, because I didn't want her to readily be available. Because yesterday she took a whole can. Before that, she had taken a whole can of strawberries, and I told her, no, you don't just have things in one sitting. And so she's like, yeah, but mommy, I'm the one who asked for them. No one else wants them in the house. It's only me. And I'm like, no, we have to regulate how you take these strawberries. But she knows they're available to her. She wants to do everything in her power to make sure she does not call anyone to come and help her, but she's like, they are available. I know they're there, and I must get them out of there. And definitely, I was like, you know what? Okay, now you've made your point. Let me get the strawberries down. And so I had to get the strawberries down, just give her the portion that I thought is okay for her to have, and then put them up. Now, when we talk about an abundant life, a vibrant life that we have talked about, one was vibrance. Number two is being contagious. Okay? Just know that a vibrant life is available to you. Like the scenario of the fridge. It is available to you. It is yours for taking. So whether you tiptoe, whether you press against the countertop, whether you hold the fridge door, whether and that is what a vibrant person will do. Have you ever dealt with a vibrant person? They will never forget what you promised them. They will always come and remind you, and they will not be intimidated whether you're the biggest person, whether you're the CEO of which multinational company or international company. They'll be like, you promised this to me, and so I will come back to you with your promise, and I will look you in the eye, and I'm not going to be intimidated, and I will ask for what is rightfully mine. And that is a vibrant life. But so many of us, we even lack the confidence, the self-esteem. We don't know our worth. And now, because when you do, if you cross over and live the vibrant life, then your life, number two, becomes contagious, because then it's an exposure of what a vibrant life, an abundant life has to look like. And I have prayed, and we have prayed together. I remember one of the prayer requests, or the things that we used to pray for more in life. And my husband is the one who used to write this prayer request so much. He'll be like, God, I want you to bless me so much that I will be a blessing to others. But he would finish that statement with, and I don't want that blessing to ever take me away from you. And he would tell me that, you know what, I mean it. And I've seen things come to pass from nothingness, because by the time we actually prayed that prayer, I remember very well, we were in a 40-day fast together with my husband. And that should be, I don't know how many years ago, but it's a long time ago, before we envisioned anything that we actually are right now, we do right now. Like we were shop attendants by then. Shop attendants. We were in a shop, okay? And we're praying that, God, how you will bless me, that I will be a blessing to so many, okay? And that your blessings will never take me away from you. And now we have become this not an object or people. And I will speak for myself. I have become this person that feels, or that lives in a contagious lane, that when you come to me or you come near me, and I've said it to so many people, that you are going to see what is possible for you, okay? Because if I could live this life, that means you can actually even live a much better life. And that is life in abundance. Not life on the downward trend, not life in failure, not life in regret, not life, just live life. That is too bare, okay? And we don't want the bare minimum. No. We want everything that God intended for us to have, to be in our lives. So, number one, a vibrant life and a contagious life, okay? Once you are exposed to it, you can't be unexposed to it. Once you are exposed to a certain amount of money, once you are exposed to a certain kind of operation, once you are exposed to a certain kind of lifestyle, okay, you cannot be unexposed from it. So God wants our lives to help so many other people, that first He is exposing us to the abundant life, but He wants to expose other people to the abundant life through you, because abundant life is contagious. Is your life contagious? Do people look at your life and say that, you know what, I want to be like that. I want to have the kind of life that he's having. And not just kind of life, I want to have the kind of happiness. I want to have the kind of, and this is not about even material things. Let me tell you, you can have all the money in the world and still you will not be happy. So that's not the kind of abundance that we are talking about. The kind of abundance that I'm talking about is that you will have a good bed, but not just stop at having a good bed. You will have good sleep in that good bed. I don't know whether it makes sense to you, okay? That you will not just have a good job, okay, and just stop at having a good job, but while you are miserable. But you will have a good job and that you will be happy while you're doing that good job. I hope it makes sense to you. That abundance does not mean that one area of life is disabled and you can only attain a certain area of your life. No, that defeats the purpose. That's not God's intention. That is not how God intends that we live our lives. That you will have a marriage, but you will not be happy in that marriage. What is that? That you will have a relationship, but you will not be happy in that relationship. That you will have a wife, but you cannot enjoy your time with your wife. What is that? No, I don't want that. Okay? And I don't think you should settle for that. No. So an abundant life is not a life where you settle for the bare minimum or what anyone is dishing or what anyone is giving you. God is telling you that you have the authority. And that is why you should be a person that thinks and believes that there is more to your life than where you are right now. When you know that there is more to your life, you will not live like a person that thinks that, you know what, this is it. If I don't have this, I'm going to be dead. So you're fighting tooth and nail to make sure that you maintain something that is not even making you happy. If it's not making you happy, it's not making you happy. Okay? And so you must be able to ask yourself, what more can I do? When you know that there is more for you, you even risk. You're like, you know what? I don't think I've done this long enough, and I don't think it's serving the purpose. I think I need to be able to take a risk and start a business. I think I need to be able to take a risk. I need to stretch myself out of my comfort zone. I need to be out there, because when you created for more or meant for more, let me tell you, you know things and you don't know how you know them. I don't know whether you've dealt with people who are like that. They know things, but they don't know how they know them. Okay? They have big dreams, audacious dreams, that when someone hears the dreams, they're like, aren't you just fumbling? Aren't you just lying to yourself? I mean, no one in your clan has ever received that. Do you think you're going to live that kind of life? I don't mind whether no one in my clan has ever lived that, whether no one is anyone that I know. The life that I decided I have to live according to God's plan in my life, I know that no one, either in my family, has lived. But let me tell you, I have seen God's goodness in the land of the living, that I have seen that what is possible for me. If they decide that certain things are not possible for them, that is them. For me, I decided and I made up my mind that how God wants me to live my life is overflowing, pressed down, shaken together, overflowing, the abundant. I want you to look at a corner where we live in abundance, in a vibrance of our lives, where our vibrance is contagious, where everything that we live, our happiness is contagious, everything that we do is actually contagious, okay? We don't want to live life below. And you can't live life like everybody else. No, you can't live life like everybody else. It's life that challenges the culture, it challenges the norms, it challenges what everyone knows. And that's the third thing. An abundant life, it seeks to challenge how everyone is living their life, how everyone is looking at things, how everyone is perceiving things, you are not supposed to live like everyone else. No. There's a distinction between what everyone else is supposed to be and who you are. So if you want to go to be in the bandwagon of everyone, in the mass market of everyone, then you are compromising. You are accepting less than what God intended for you. Your life is supposed to challenge. They're supposed to say, but women are not supposed to be like that. And you're like, watch and see. But women are not supposed to have that much money. Watch and see. But in our family, we're not supposed to do that. You're like, you know what? Just be a spectator. Sit, keep quiet. Yeah, tula, sidika, laba. What is going on? And I want to be, as I challenge the norms of the world and the norms of the church and the norms of the culture, I want also to be that person that challenges everyone's normal kind of living, so that you will get dissatisfied with the level of your living, with the kind of happiness that you have of 30%, and you will know that there is 100% that can be enjoyed, because that is how life is supposed to be lived. You're supposed to live on the fast lane. You're supposed to live on the vibrant lane. You're supposed to live on the contagious lane. You're supposed to live in the counter ring side of life, okay? And when you talk about the counter ring side of life, that's why I said you can't live like everyone else is living. Normal is normal, but normal is not taking you anywhere, okay? Average is average. I've given you a cycle of average all the time. When you live an average life, like when you do average things, you get average results all the time. All the time. There is no day or no time or no year where I have seen average turn into extraordinary. That has never happened. It's a cycle that repeats itself. And by the way, and now it does not even just repeat itself, but it's a cycle that declines, that deteriorates with time. So you begin with average and end up with nothing. But when you decide and say, I'm fixing my eyes to the author and the perfecter of my life, the one who says that I came that you will live life in its fullness and life in abundance, then you decide that extraordinary life is what my aim should be. Extraordinary life. And let me tell you, the people that are meant to live the extraordinary life have extraordinary appetite for the good life. That is why we don't settle. That is why we don't give up. That is why we show up every day. That is why no one can talk us out of anything. That is why when our mind is made, it is made. That is why we are decisive about life. That is why, as in, if you belong to any of those things that I have talked about, let me tell you, there's something bigger about your life that you don't know, but you are going to experience it. And we are not settled with just talking about things. No, we are not settled with just dreaming about things and thinking about things. No, we must experience to the last dot of what the goodness of the Lord is meant to be in the land of the living. Because when he says we are not going to die, we're going to live to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. What is the goodness of the Lord? Can you define the goodness of the Lord? The goodness of the Lord is the abundance that he promises. And some of us are not willing to live below that abundance. No. And let me tell you, you can be a person that where you are right now, the kind of money that you're earning, the kind of life that you are living is not, maybe it does not portray that, but you know it inside of you that you are headed for something bigger, something great, because that is who I was. While I was telling you, and I've given these testimonies so many times, what explains a girl who has no fees, a girl whose family is being accommodated by an uncle in a one room somewhere, a girl who has G-nuts and water because it wasn't tea, because there was no sugar, but G-nuts have been borrowed from the shop. But you have the audacity of thinking that one day I am going to build on an acre of land. One day I am going to do some of these mega things, mighty things, and yet I didn't even have the exposure to those things. So that even tells you that it's possible. You can dream, you can be an inventor of your life. You don't have to see in order to believe. Some of us, we have believed before we have seen. We have believed that there is a good life before we even lived a good life. And let me tell you, that caused me to work harder. That caused me to do everything in my power, to put one foot in front of the other. That caused me to make sober decisions, because I usually tell you that if I was just taken up by the life that I was living, the mediocre life that I grew up in, not even mediocre, but the poverty-stricken life that I lived, I would have made all the wrong decisions in the world. And I usually make a joke. I think I would have been on my 5th marriage. You know, I would have created misery after misery after misery because of the situation, because of the decisions. Because when you are in a bad state, sometimes you don't have the evidence that life will ever be good. So you seek to do what others are doing. You seek the normal. You seek the ordinary. You seek the average. Why? Because you think that is the only thing that is available to you. Guess what? I knew that I would never get settled. For everyone that came into my life, I tried to even get to come into my life, I would look at them, and not with kubanyoma, or not to think that they're not my standard, but I'll be like, you know what? No, that is not taking me anywhere. No, that is not supposed to be in my life. As in, okwe pankoko. I don't know how not in a bad way, but in a way of, I know I am not of near, here. I am not, my journey goes deeper. My journey goes longer. My journey goes, so I saw the extraordinary part of my life when my life was very ordinary and very poor. And that is how I connected the dots and made the decisions to stay away from everything that was giving me temporary pleasure, but was not giving me the complete happiness of the extraordinary life that I wanted. So ask yourself, are you making decisions depending on the extraordinary life that you're supposed to live, the abundance of life that you're supposed to live? Because some of us jeopardize our lives before we get to the extraordinary and the abundance, and we get into the abundance with a lot of regrets. So many of us have reached the abundance with so many regrets. You get into the abundant life sick. You get into the abundant life with a lot of baggage that you even don't know how to put down. You get into the abundant. Why? Because between the life that you are living right now and the extraordinary, super extraordinary, you made decisions to settle for a woman that was not supposed to be in your life, but because she was the one who was available at that moment. So you get into your extraordinary life and you have a woman that you don't want to look at. You even feel they are stinking for you. You even feel when they open their mouth to speak, you don't know what they're talking about. But why? You settled, and that is why I don't want you to settle. Okay? If we are aiming for abundance, if we are working towards abundance, and we're not just working towards abundance, but God has promised that abundance. So it's not a question of whether or whether not. For me, I am living the abundance, and the abundance also has levels. There is extraordinary abundance. There is super abundance. So I am walking from abundance to abundance to abundance and to abundance. It's from glory to glory. And God was not mad when he was promising that it is from glory to glory. But by the time some of us get to the glory, we have made fools of ourselves. We have made bad decisions upon bad decisions, and we have not given our dreams a chance. I want you to give your dreams a chance. I want you to audit your life, okay? To audit your life and ask yourself, am I living according to what God intended for me to live, okay? There is nothing average about your future, and there is nothing average about your destiny, okay? And the indicators to extraordinary life is because you have the extraordinary appetite. If you're the kind that does not settle, if you're the kind that wants to make more money, if you're the kind that wants to serve more people, if you're the kind that wants to believe God to be an international speaker, if you're the kind that, as in, you have extraordinary appetite. No one can quench that appetite. No one can quench my appetite. No one. Say everything you want to say, do everything that you want to do, as in go and spend all your time in the shrines and do everything. Cut your body into pieces if you want. Extraordinary life is mine, and the extraordinary appetite is causing me to do things in extraordinary ways so that I can get to the life that I want. Because I told you it's from glory to glory, and we are getting there. And the extraordinary appetite is when you just don't feel like this is it, okay? Doesn't mean that you're not grateful. For example, I'm very grateful about the life that I have, that God has given me. Like, super grateful. I don't know any other person that is as grateful as I am, because I know that it's not my own doing. No, it's not my own doing. It's God's doing. His abundance has been evidenced in my life, experienced by my life. But this is not where I'm stopping. I'm very grateful, but I'm not saying that I am content that this is where I should be for the rest of my life. So I don't want you to underestimate your extraordinary appetite, because extraordinary appetite will cause you to work extra hours. It will cause you to go an extra mile. It will cause you to pursue extra. It will cause you, and that will be the difference between the significant people, the successful people, and people that were just mediocres in life. And you don't want to be a mediocre in life. You want to set a standard for your children, a standard that is extraordinary, okay? And the secret to success. There's someone who mentioned, and I think I will end with this, or I will stop at this. There's someone who has asked, I don't remember what his name is, but I remember reading a certain book, and he said that the secret to his success, that he had set his life on fire, and people came to see him burning, to witness him burning. And for me, that made a lot of sense, because over the years, I have sought to set my life on fire. And I know that I'm speaking this, and some of you are actually taking it into your own lives, and you're thinking, yes, I have constantly been setting myself on fire and just having people to come and see the fire that I'm setting. That the kind of fasting that I will go, I will not fast like everyone else. That I will not pray like everyone else. That I will not work like everyone else. That I will not, everything that I seek to do, even when it is to love, I will love like no one else is doing. Like everything that I literally took the Bible verse that says, everything you find it to do, do it with all your might. Now for me, I took it literally. I took it an extra mile, that when I do something, I don't do it like everyone else is doing it. I do it in extraordinary ways, because I have an extraordinary appetite for extraordinary life, and that is the abundant life that we have talked about. So I hope that I've been able to stir you up to want, to desire, to yearn for the extraordinary life and the abundant life that God intends us to live. I love you. Get back to me. Tell me anything that you need to communicate. If you have a question, right on your screen you have the number. Get in touch with me. Let's build a community of people that are living in abundance.